All right, all right, all right. Settle down. I know you're excited, as am I. But Iris Torréfié had just literally shown up, and I had no idea. I'm just as surprised as anybody. Wasn't expecting this till September 1st, but I'm absolutely thrilled. And I did smell it really, really briefly after smelling a ton of ouds and orientals and incense-based fragrances, so it didn't really stick to me. You know how it is when you've got all these things going on, and I think this is kind of like a lighter version of a fragrance that didn't leave a whole lot of impression with me, but I'm not worried quite yet, because the things that I was trying on were really sticky and heavy and took up a lot of space. But so the latest from the arts and materials, I've heard about this. I think it was earlier this year, and actually, I think it was when the Toronto Guerlain boutique was shutting down. They were talking about the new Iris, and you're gonna see. It was supposed to be this year, but with the shutdown and the lockdown and all that, you're gonna see a lot of changes coming from Guerlain, and I'm assuming it's mostly packaging-wise. Going to change packaging and bottles. They weren't very specific. They had it under wraps. They didn't really want to talk about it. They just said, look out for a lot of changes coming across the board. And they did mention the Iris coffee perfume. And I was excited for the Iris part. And then when I heard coffee, I was like, oh man, I don't know how I feel about this. Doesn't really seem like it's, up Guerlain's alleyway. It seems more like something I would expect from Replica or one of these offshoot niche brands that are found at Sephora. But we'll have a look. Guerlain's really good with their Iris. Iris Ganoche, the iconic, it became Nikon once it was discontinued, but it has a massive cult following, a Thierry Wasser production. Insolence had a lot of Iris, a lot of the classics, Boule de Nuit, Lure Bleu, Shalimar, all loaded with Iris. I love Iris personally, one of my absolute all-time favorite notes. I love the dryness it brings to perfume. I love that waxy, lipsticky thing. I love all facets of Iris. The rootiness, the dryness, the greenness, soapiness, the cleanness. There's just so many different things that you can do with Iris, but I think this is listed as a Delphine Jelk production. I have a feeling Thierry Wasser's doing a lot of work traveling, sourcing. He might be helping with writing the formulas for these. I don't think he's blending as much as he used to or as much as he'd like. I think he's still doing these. He might be working in the lab on the Absolutes, the Orient, but when it comes to these, I see Delphine is getting a lot more credit. The last couple of the arts and materials, which I thought were really good, Embrem Zilang, Neroli Out Renoir, and the Tuberose Juice, I think they were slightly, or I could be wrong, I think they were a credit to Delphine Jelk, as was Louis, which is absolutely brilliant. I love Louis. Fragrantica listed Delphine as the creator of that, so I'm really wondering what's going on. I'm not concerned, I'm not worried at all. A lot of these have been pretty good, but I'm just kind of wondering, what's going on at Guerlain, that maybe Terry is just kind of, not that he's tired, or he's just got a lot of other stuff going on. So you'll remember these were repackaged. They used to come in a shiny gold box with the bulb atomizer. Now it's kind of in this really nice faux leather. They jacked up the prices for these, but still the packaging is much nicer than it used to be. So these are 75 ml eau de parfum. Yeah, eau de parfum. And I think I've already mentioned, I haven't sprayed this yet. I did briefly smell it elsewhere. And I've got Chanel oil on my hands. And I know it's just going to show up all over the bottle. There is Iris Torréfié. I know you guys like to see that bottle. All right, so let's put this up in the air. I'm really curious. I know people are going to be shouting at me to put it on skin, but I really like putting it in the air. I'll put a little bit on the blotter as well. Oh, wow. Yes, 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 yes. Vintage iris, like right off the bat, it's dry, leathery, textured iris, slightly green. I don't get rootiness, but I get lipstick. I get that waxy, cosmetic-y, almost powdery lipstick right off the bat, and I can sense the coffees coming way in the background. So this is iris dominant. I feel like there's a little bit of incense in here. Oh, this is really nice. Bravo, bravo. Oh, absolutely breathtaking. Something feels a little bit orangey in here, like a very, very light orange blossom. Or something from the orange family. But it's very dry, and it's iris dominant, and I can definitely get the leather. So iris, leather, lipstick, warm, dry. I'm not getting any rootiness. I'm not getting any soapiness. Powdery. I can see it getting slightly powdery than this. Let me quickly look up the notes. So it calls for the main accords: powdery, floral, coffee, warm, spicy, vanilla. Okay. Vanilla doesn't stand out. It's not sweet, which is a good thing. We don't like sweet. We like dry and non-sweet, and this is exactly what that is. Dry, non-sweet. And I can definitely see this. I don't want to say inspired by Dior Homme or Dior Homme Intense or any of those, but it's definitely in the same family. Maybe a little bit smoother. Absolutely brilliant. So the notes, yeah, Delphine, Jelk, I'm not sure. Cardamom. Okay. Yeah, cardamom and leather, I can see that. Bergamot, coffee, iris, ambrette, musk mallow. See, I don't get that sweetness. Amber, tea, and leather. I can see this being an oriental, but the vanilla, benzoin, the ambers, I can see it's an ambery color. It's powdery amber, or turning powdery. But it's not a full-on Shalimar Oriental. It's more woody. A woody Oriental. Iris Torréfié. To me, the coffee smells, it's definitely roasted. It's a dark coffee. It's not a sugary sweet like macchiato or frappuccino or one of those $9 Starbucks overly sweet coffees with whipped cream in them. Or no, it's more of a dark roast. It's almost like freshly ground up beans that have just been through the processor, and you get that smell and the smell of freshly brewed coffee in a cafe. That's what it reminds me of. A very elegant, very classy, and way better than I originally imagined. I know when I first heard of, Guerlain doing iris and coffee, I thought, oh man, are they going to go down that gimmicky route? But this doesn't smell gimmicky at all. This is very, very sophisticated and very pleasant. But what I like is the iris is very dominant. Dry, lipsticky, slightly green, like it's got, maybe it's greenness from the coffee. Like it's not green earthiness. Well, whatever it is, I like it and I'm really impressed and I'm super proud. Delphine, Jelk, Terry Wasser, Frederick Sacoin, congratulations. This is really nice and pleasant, and I think a lot of people will be happy with this and impressed. I'm just absolutely thrilled that there's no sweetness, and even though they call vanilla, I don't get that art and materials. With the earlier lines, they had Spiritus Double Vanille, Angelique Noir. They had a bunch of them with a lot of vanilla. Queer Beluga, it was almost like the same vanilla base running throughout. And it's not that kind of vanilla. It's a very subdued vanilla, at least on paper. Like vanilla to me, it's almost I can't even say like I get vanilla right now. It's just way more iris, leather, lipstick, dark roasted coffee, and blended to Guerlain perfection. Brilliant, love it. Oh yes. There you go. Iris Torréfié, beautiful. Really impressed, and I can't wait for y'all to smell it, and I'm curious about your thoughts. Anyway, drop a comment down below. Love always reading your comments. Hit the like, hit the subscribe. All you fuckers that haven't subscribed but keep watching, I see you. Anyway, thanks for watching, and we'll see you soon.